Can I have the time? 8 minutes, right?
Yeah.
2 and go. First off is my partner says we got icebreakers on key multiple of other programs showing growth in the Great Lakes region. Great Lakes Commission 2012. This means that icebreakers are not the. This means that there are other programs that will make icebreakers, the region around, the economy around the icebreakers better, and not we don't have to just focus on icebreakers, such as we have to. Nearly 7 projects are underway to address serious problems facing the Great Lakes, including shutting the door on aquatic invasive species such as Asian carp, cleaning up toxic sediments under the Great Lakes Legacy Act. This is because without the Great Lakes, without the fishes, then the Great Lakes will be completely useless. This is why other programs are more important than icebreakers. Next is there is no impact, no war impact. History disputes causality between crisis and war. Ferguson, 2006. Nor can economic crisis explain all violent upheavals of the century. Not all countries affected by the Great Depression became fascist regimes, nor did all the fascist regime engage in war. The Nazi German started the war in Europe, but only after the economy has recovered. For centuries as a whole, no general rule is discernible. Some wars came after periods of growth, others were causes rather than consequences of economic crisis. This means that if we improve U.S. economy, we have a greater risk of causing war because we have the money to have war. If your economy is bad, you don't have money to buy bullets, weapons, or to cause war. Next is best empirics prove our argument. Miller, 2000. Do war spring from popular reaction to sudden economic crisis? There will not appear to be any merit in this hypothesis. After studying 93 episodes of economic crisis in 23 countries, much of the conventional wisdom about political impact of economic crisis may be wrong. The severity of economic crisis bore no relationship to class of the regime. Next, shipbuilding. Lack of skilled workforce derails shipbuilding. It is more important than the plan. Responses, Canbanis, 2011. Responses for the ship companies confirm that crewing vessels for competent seafarers is a growing global problem. This phenomenon can be attributed to a number of factors. The shipbuilding industry is striving to make a career in the field more attractive to young men, but faced with numerous challenges, including separation from families and friends and family while at sea. This desire of Generation Y is to be socially networked at all times. The perception of that career in shipping involves a life at sea as well. A recent negative focus on shipping due to environmental issues, piracy, and among others. Next, methane. There is no impact, no warming from hydrates, no surveil 2012. Gas hydrates occur within and beneath thick terrestrial permafrost will remain largely stable even if the climate lasts 100 years. The methane emitted in these waters will probably dissolve or be oxidized in the water column and is unlikely to reach the atmosphere. If the gas hydrate do dissociate, the released methane should remain trapped in the sediment, migrate upward to form new gas hydrates, and be consumed by oxidized near seafloor sediment. Most methane released at the seafloor will likely be dissolved and oxidized in the water column. This means that no matter how strong the methane gas is, it doesn't matter because it was underneath the deep layer of ocean which will oxidize and dilute the methane hydrates and the methane, so the methane proves no effect to global warming. Next, Russia advantage. No development means no competition. Kemp, 2012. The Arctic remains largely inhospitable and there are innumerable objects to cashing in on its riches. The private sector to develop any parts of the Arctic, enormous investment in capital labor will be necessary. The Arctic will remain a dangerous trade route for commercial shipping. The dangers are further evidenced by recent investment in traditional sea routes and facilities such as the long-run permafrost thawing out the greatest obstacle for the Arctic deplorers. It has made construction roadways, airfields much more difficult and in some ways caused extractive projects to be abandoned. No chance of war. The logic behind Russia's Arctic base is seductive, but a war exceedingly unlikely because Russia would lose. For one, U.S. has an overwhelmingly decisive advantage in submarines. U.S. subs are more advanced, there are more of them, and their crews are better trained. It's unlikely the Arctic nations will also begin killing each other over low-key and remote territorial disputes. And extending on that is no competition means no competition means no war. But however, the plan wants to build new icebreakers. That acts as a competition toward Russia. Russia will feel threatened by this sudden increase in competition in the Arctic, thus causing a war. And however, as again, Russia will try not to go. There will be no chances of war at all because Russia would lose if they try to attack. Next, alarmism is financial incentive causes threat hyping. Dyer, 12. The media's always love conflict. Now that the Cold War is long gone, there's no other potential military confrontation. The armed forces in every country are always looking for reason to worry about impending conflict because that's the only reason their governments will spend money on them. distorts reality. Hart 2012. The bleakest forecasts have overlooked positive development. There has been to date been little actual discord. Arctic states are pledged to solve disputes in an orderly process, manage the peaceful resolution of major territorial conflict, and conclude a binding agreement to cooperate on search and rescue. Now to finally conclude is that we rebutted against their econ saying that icebreakers are key to Great Lakes, but they're not. As for the Great Lakes departments around there has already proposed 700 new plans to help the Great Lakes in solving their fisheries, which is another big, solving their toxic waste inside Great Lakes, which is another key component in the Great Lakes. Next is that shipbuilding. There aren't enough skilled crew workers for the shipbuilding, therefore U.S.'s shipbuilding is lacking behind. And next is methane advantage. We proved that there is no impact. As for the methane that will be released will be diluted and oxidized in the water, thus proving no impact in global warming or the atmosphere. Next is Russia advantage. As I said before, no competition means no war. Therefore, if the U.S. tries to build icebreakers, that will build to a war, because Russia will feel threatened, and that can escalate to a nuclear war. Next is alarmism, proving that financial incentive cause threat hyping, meaning that and also the AAFF distorts realities, which also says that Arctic states pledge to solve disputed in an orderly process and manage the peaceful resolution of a major territorial conflict. DA? Now I will. Extend on DA, Coast Guard DA, is that the plan collapse of the Coast Guard budget and no alternative exists. As mentioned before, the Coast Guard faces budget uncertainty as it may be significantly challenged for the Coast Guard to attain Arctic capabilities, including icebreakers. Unlikely the agency budget could accommodate for the level of additional funding needed to acquire new icebreakers or reconstruction of existing ones. The recapitalization of the polar icebreaker fleet could not be funded with the existing or projected Coast Guard budget. All three reported reviewed alternative financial options, including the potential for leasing icebreakers or funding icebreakers through the NSF or the DoD. The Coast Guard has meant more immediate need than DoD to acquire Arctic capabilities, including icebreakers, making it unlikely that a similar funding approach would be feasible at this time. Thank you.
Charles X.
You said that there isn't resource in Russia, so people won't go there and drill.
There's not enough resources to cause a motive of conflict. No resources or motive to cause conflict.
Okay. You said that in your argument you said that Russia won't fight America because they're afraid of them, because they will lose. Did you say that?
If they fight with them, then they will lose. I don't think Russia knows that though.
I think you're actually supporting our argument, because our argument said that we have to go to Arctic to show leadership, and as you said, Russia will be afraid to fight us because they will lose, so they won't fight us. That's why we're showing leadership in Russia, right? Don't you agree?
As I said that there's no chances of war, meaning the U.S. will not lose a war, but there still be casualties. Who wants casualties? No one does.
Oh, so you're saying that there will be a war, right?
But Russia will lose. And if...
Okay, thank you. It's enough. It's enough. Okay. Even though there's other projects in Great Lakes, are you aware that breaking the ice is also, and making waterways is also a key? Breaking ice is also a key for shipping.
I believe that breaking ice is a point for the Great Lakes, but there are other key programs that needed to be dealt with in the Great Lakes before icebreakers.
Well, so you're saying that we can't ship now because there's other things in the Great Lakes.
Well, if we focus on icebreakers, the Great Lakes, like I said, there are toxic waste in the Great Lakes from ships, and if the Great Lakes lose, and we have to solve that problem, or else the Great Lakes will also lose their economic benefit, like fishing, like the Asian cod, I think, yeah. This is which the Great Lakes need to deal with.
Okay. And are you aware that most of the Earth oil is under the Arctic? Like, yeah.
Yes, I'm aware, but I don't see how oil is related as far as it's a methane advantage.
Yeah, so you said that you're aware, so because there is most oil in the earth, so that means people will go to there and get the oil to compete. That's what you said, okay, never mind. Right, is that what you said?
I never said oil.
You said you
I never
agree-
said oil.
You said you agree that that most of the oil is under.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that people will go there. I never said that.
Okay, it's okay. And what's your evidence saying that,
Snack. 1 an hour? You want prep?
Yeah, prep time.
Okay.